In my last video, I talked to you about standard introductions. And while most people are comfortably using these standards introduction to introduce their session and to engage their audience, you can do much better in engaging and keeping the attention of your audience if you use a few of these attention grabbing introductions. Hello everyone, my name is Charlotte Neal, and today I will be taking you through a few of these attention grabbing introductions. So instead of using the standard introductions, why not start your presentation by using a story? The story, of course, must be related to the topic that you are covering. For example, maybe you're doing a training on communication. You can start with a familiar story on communication. For example, last week I boarded the bus to Belize City. My intention was to have a quiet, peaceful ride all the way to the city. As luck would have it, I sat beside a chatterbox, and this person chatted all the way from Belmopan to Belize City. I was forced to be engaged in the conversation, much to my dismay. Halfway through the journey, I decided that I was going to say goodbye to sleep. You see, communication, when it comes to communication, people have different styles. There are those who communicate openly, we call them extroverts, and those who are more quiet and reserved, we call them introverts. A story to start your introduction and to grab the attention of your audience. Think carefully of the story you want to tell and make sure it's a story that others can relate to and it's something that comes naturally to you. Another attention grabbing introduction would be to share your big idea. Clearly, if you are the training facilitator, it's because you are here to impart some new knowledge. You're not there to just go over what participants already know. So think about this when you are preparing your presentation. What is the previous knowledge of my audience to ensure that you are putting forth information that is relevant to them and new ideas. So you can start by sharing your big idea. For example, 5 years ago, I did an interesting research. I noted that the turnover rate in the department that I worked was very high. People were leaving within 6 months of coming into the organization. Does that sound like your organization? And so I had an idea. I decided that within the first 2 weeks of employment, I was going to engage participants in an activity. So you're warming up to your topic now and you're sharing your big idea. People are engaged and they want to hear more about your idea. Another attention grabbing introduction is to use humor. A word of caution, if you suck at humor, don't attempt to try it. Your humor may backfire and it may turn out to be a dry humor. So use humor only if you are very comfortable at humor and ensure that again, the humor is related to the topic at hand. It can't just be any random humor. Share some interesting fun facts related to your topic. Everybody likes interesting fun facts. And so, did you know that the average attention span of a teenager is 15 seconds? So, How much attention span do you believe that an adult have? And see, there you go. You have already engaged your audience. People will start throwing out numbers. And then this is your moment to insert that fun fact that hardly anybody knew. And you have got your audience thinking along the line of the topic that you are introducing. And they will then determine that you have a lot to bring, that you have so much to offer. You have captured their attention, and keeping it from there will be much easier. Another attention grabbing introduction is to ask questions. Ask questions to engage your audience. Make sure that you ask easy questions. Don't ask questions that will put participants on the spot or make them feel uncomfortable. So you can ask fun rhetorical questions. Were you aware that listening is one of the most difficult skill ever? That everything you learn today, within the next 6 months, you will have forgotten 25%. Interesting, right? So go ahead and try these attention grabbing introductions. And finally, introduce something controversial to your training, like an optical illusion. So, again, on the theme of communication, what do you see? Some will see a vase, some will see two silhouettes, others will see something different. What do you see? Does that make one person right, or does it make another person wrong? So, how does this fit into communication? Sometimes we insist on what we see without realizing that the other person is also correct. And so it has great implications for communications. Try one of these attention grabbing introductions and be on your way to making better presentations that both engage and captivate your audience throughout your presentations.